Well, you have the Empress in the center, so you're feeling great this week about yourself, about what you've accomplished. This is that abundant, lovely, beautiful energy that's coming through as your focus. And there's a sense of being fulfilled. Now, on the general side, we have the High Priestess with the Six of Wands. So we have some good fortune, success coming your way. Six of Wands, a victory, getting your way. Also with the combination of the High Priestess, I see this as confirmation, like maybe something that you thought was the case, it was. Six of Wands is like, yeah, your intuition was correct, but I don't see it like being a negative. I see it being a positive win for you. And it gives you quite the bit of energy and enthusiasm with the Eight of Wands. Things are moving quickly. Maybe travel is a possibility for you, some of you. Otherwise, this could also represent a lot of things happening very quickly now that there is success here, and then, lots of things having your attention or wanting your attention, and plenty of messages coming your way as well. On the love side, we have the Five of Coins with the Seven of Wands and the Three of Coins. So we have Pentacles energy when it comes to love. Love feels like it requires a bit of effort you don't fully want to put in. It feels like a struggle. Seven of Wands, you feel like you have to fight for something constantly. You feel like you're left out here like begging for some maybe emotion, some attention. If you're single, you may not feel up for putting that effort, even though we do have a card of work here. You may be distracting yourself with other things instead, wanting to focus your attention elsewhere instead of love. Otherwise, there's a possibility that some of you are thinking of what you could possibly do to attract someone that you know that you would want to spend quite a bit of time with, like someone who meets your expectations. Let's get some clarifiers. King of Cups wanted to drop out, so there's a possibility of someone kind of coming into the fold here. A more emotional character, but someone who does well to keep their emotions under control. They could be charming with the King of Cups energy. Could be more of a sensitive male. Empress. The Fool. You've taken a chance and it's proved to be fulfilling with the Fool and the Empress. And you're feeling, again, lucky, and I see that you're feeling just good and excited about where things are headed. Strange that love, well, we'll get to it. General side. Three of Swords. Well, the Three of Swords could be what's behind the confirmation that you were expecting. Maybe there was some sort of separation that somehow allows you to step in. Maybe that could be at work, for instance, someone leaving a position, and that allows you to step into that place, and then things move very quickly for you to obtain whatever that was, whatever the position that was that opened up. Why is the Three of Swords? Five of Swords. There's some mental games being played here that have been played. You could still be somewhere in the background dealing with some difficult situation that you haven't quite recovered from, but you're trying with the Five of Swords. I mean, this Five of Swords, this guy is just like, he has come out victorious, much like the Six of Wands. He seems like, which is weird because it's the Five of Swords, he seems like a winner, even though his eyes look a bit vacant, where he may know that how he won wasn't the best method, but still a win nonetheless. You could still be hiding some sort of feelings that you're trying to heal. What's the Eight of Wands? Six of Wands. You feel like things are balancing themselves out and you're getting what you deserve, which is, I feel like you expect a bit to come your way, and it does. It's like this coin is being handed to you, an opportunity coming your way. It may have come as a result, again, of someone leaving or separation. Maybe you played a hand in that separation. Let's go to love. One for love. Seven of Swords. Sneaking out in the night is coming up here. Deception. Not really having a clear picture of what's going on, but thinking that something's wrong. Something's not quite right here. If you're partnered up, you may feel like your partner is neglecting you, and that neglect comes from something that they're hiding. Maybe you're trying to use work or your own, whatever you're focusing on, as a distraction for yourself. Meanwhile, you know that something is up. If you're single, I don't think that you've encountered people that I feel like you see red flags everywhere. And you may even encounter someone that you just want to pretend you got that emergency call and have to go early. You have the Ace of Cups. Some of you do want a new relationship, whether you're in one or not, or at least want to express your emotions in some way. But I feel like with this other energy around it, it's difficult this week. Okay. You find yourself thinking about the past a bit, like fond memories, how things were when they were easy, and right now they're not. Maybe some of you are thinking about someone from the past because that person was easier to be with, and you're wondering how they're doing. What's the Three of Pentacles? Well, this is showing some strong disappointment coming through with the Five of Cups. Emotional unhappiness that you're trying to work through. Trying to work through it. Three of Coins. He's determined to make something that he wants happen and not let it go by. And I think that you're determined as well, despite the fact that you've endured some sort of disappointment. All right, let's get one overall for you guys. Justice is served. Justice. So in the end, it feels like this week things will more than likely even themselves out. You may also feel like there's some sort of major decision that you have to make, and it's not so black and white, even though it appears to be. Maybe you need to take your time with this one. Some of you could be dealing with legal nonsense or whatever it is that's major. Or it could be major for you, I should say. And you're trying to take a very neutral viewpoint. But, it's interesting because the center energy is just so freeing here. And so go with the flow. Take a risk. That could be what you're deciding. So you may not have taken that leap of faith just yet, as a fool would. That might be on your mind. Thinking it through completely. Making sure everything is set up however it needs to be set up before you take the plunge. And justice will make that final call. More than likely not this week, though. In the center, you guys have the Magician. And again, I always state this, one of my favorite majors. And I feel like it suits us quite a bit. Magician can do anything, can be anyone. Having that multiple personality that you may switch throughout the day. Feeling like, you know what, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this other thing as well. I can do it at the same time. Very strong card for me for confidence. At work or in whatever you put pretty much all your energy into. Again, you feel empowered, you feel strong, and like you're getting somewhere, you're creating something. This may be a week too where you feel very creative and you feel that drive to just be constantly moving and busy. Not a slacker energy this week at all with the Magician here. On the General, we have the King of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the Empress card. So here we have, well, there could be someone that you feel as though is either hanging on to information, withholding something. Maybe there's conversations about money as well. Either you or someone else has felt like, again, someone's loosening up the purse strings, or there's a financial discussion. And it feels like whatever it is in terms of finances, it's about there not being enough or expecting more. And someone, again, feels very protective, much like this character here, the way he's hanging on to his money. Some is spilling over, but he's also distracted by what's going on in front of him. You may feel like someone's trying to take something from you, and that doesn't have to just be financial. It could be, for instance, let's just focus on job, where someone's trying to take a responsibility that you've typically had, and that makes you uncomfortable. It could be something like that. It's valuable to you, though, being the Pentacles energy, and this could be the person that you're dealing with. The King of Wands, more than likely a fire energy, but it doesn't have to be. This could be someone who is very flamboyant, maybe a little bit aggressive. And because of the Four of Pentacles next to this person, you feel like you need to kind of, in some ways, protect yourself, because they can be a little, I don't want to say that you're intimidated by them, but their energy could be very intense. And again, that aggressive energy where you're just like trying to keep them at arm's length. And again, feeling like you have to just be quiet or just say as little as possible in order to get them out of the way. Empress here can be your energy. It could also be someone that you're dealing with, in which case I feel like this person is someone that you trust completely. They're looking out for you. You may be having those discussions about another person with this Empress female energy. This could also represent you, especially if you're a female, even so as a male, in which case it's much like the Magician. You feel very strong and like you have this ability to create, be creative, make things happen that you want to happen. If you're a male, or regardless, I see the Empress as a female, somehow impacting your life. And if not you, then it's someone who is, that you, I think, can confide in, or is influencing you in some way, in a good way. Now, for the love life, we have the Hangman with the Devil card and the Ace of Swords. So with this energy, the Hangman and the Devil, I feel like someone is very, very stuck on feelings, thoughts that are pretty much just there and haven't gone anywhere in your head, replaying over actions or things that were said, and again, being fixated maybe on one particular thing that has happened. Now, that thing could have been a sexual encounter. With the Devil energy here, it's a very lustful card, especially as we see here. You might be thinking about an encounter that is just unforgettable, more than likely for the better. But with the Hangman, there is this pause about it, or this question about it, that maybe you're not sure. You're not sure if you should engage. You're not sure if you should be connected with someone, because maybe it feels dangerous. Maybe it feels like it can get too addictive and you don't want to be a part of that. Some of you that have been dealing with affairs, this could be that affair still playing over in your mind. Whether you're the betrayed or the betrayer, is just like unable to get that connection out of your mind. And there it is, playing over and over again. And with the Ace of Swords this week, there may be a need to express, be open with that other romantic partner. Just kind of unleash what's on your mind. And I feel like you may have been thought about saying something for some time. And this could be the other person towards you as well. Some of you on the smaller scale could be trying to think of, or have been thinking of, different ways to spice up the sex life. And the Ace of Swords could represent those ideas that are being expressed to a person that you're involved with. If you're not in a relationship whatsoever, there's also the possibility that this could be a week where there is the potential for a sexual encounter. The romance isn't there yet. I mean, it can always come out of it, but it may not. The Devil leans towards the sexual. I still feel like you may be thinking about it. Like someone could propose the idea of, let's hook up, and then you're just like, I'll sleep on it, I'll think about it with the Hangman. And in which case the Ace of Swords, I see it as less favorable. The Ace of Swords to me, with the Hangman around, kind of, you know what you want, and I don't feel like it's just a sexual connection for whomever this resonates with, and in which case you're being very open about that. So let me get a clarifier for each side. And I'm using the extra deck instead of this deck because it's easier to shuffle, it's lighter. So I did have a dropper here, and because I move slow, I'm not going to actually pick that up, but I will tell you it is Temperance. It is a Temperance card. So I feel like part of this week involves emotional balance, and that's an achievement that you're going for. It's also something that you will start to have or have by the end of the week. I do think it also represents that regardless of situations, you will take your time. There's no rush, and you feel like you're in control. Can I get a clarifier for general? All right, got death. The Empress is here again, and what's interesting is that originally I felt an association with the Empress and the Magician, and the Empress has come out as a clarifier for the Magician. So again, it's that creativity that's coming through for you, and it feels very, very strong. Again, you feel like you can do anything, and that what you do engage in or create or just are a part of ends up turning out so well, and you feel that sense of pride. Now, death is the clarifier on this side, so you could be trying to find a resolution, come to an end, come to terms with another person. Again, it may or may not involve finances with the Four of Pentacles. This could also represent that you've been hanging on to this for some time, or just needing to kind of hang on, hold on, or wait. I think that that ends up resolving by the end of the week, and something is clearly cut out. Where does death lead? Well, I thought, that something is clearly cut out, but the cards are saying that there still is a bit of a stagnation here. So maybe there's a decision that needs to be made, but it seems like it needs to hold on for longer for whatever reason, is postponed, and maybe you or another person are, for the moment, not wanting to make a decision. What can you tell me about the King of Wands? The Fool. Now, for some, this could represent, you take on the energy of the King of Wands. Magician would have that energy. Even the Empress, they're go-getters. They're just like, I'm going to do this. I have this plan, and I'm going to actually put it into action. The King of Wands would be the king that just kind of goes for it. And he does so with intelligence, and it's not really on a whim. I think that the Fool adds to this fact where you may feel ready to take a serious just chance on something that's exciting as well, because there's a fire there, and you may not know how to resolve. I think that this indicates that it's definitely headed in a positive direction, but I think this represents the willingness to take a risk with the King of Wands and the Fool energy. Now, for some, where you were dealing with that person, and I felt like there could have been conversations, again, surrounding finances, it feels as though this person may have taken some sort of risk on their part. And maybe they just haven't thought about it, maybe they just wanted to, whatever the case may be. And it more than likely affected you. We know that. One more for the King of Wands. Well, as a risk, and we have another 4 associated with that, it may not have, even though the 4 is a staple card, the number 4, I feel like for that person as a separate individual, it didn't turn out the way they wanted. And maybe this person wanted you to take the risk with them and needed your financial support, in which case you were not interested in investing that energy or money. And let's just get the Empress. We have the Star, the card of dreams and hopes and aspirations. The Star, I always say it's one of those cards that I don't necessarily love, because it doesn't say that your hopes are going to come, but you have hope. You have the goals, and I think that it's inspiring, because you could be dwelling on negatives or feeling like, in distress and despair, but you're not. You're feeling great, and like you have bigger dreams now for whatever's going on here is bringing about some feeling that you can do anything again, and maybe even adding to your list of accomplishments. And again, I know this is like big speak, but it could always be small. It could be just having a list of goals for the week or the month, and you make some sort of major headways that you just add to the list, and it's like, this is fantastic, let's just keep going. All right, so let's get the love side, one overall. And there's our good friend, a hangman has made a repeat return. So you're definitely not really ready for major moves here. I think everything that's happening, it's all mental, and it's observation, seeing what your partner's doing, understanding your own feelings. You're not in a rush and you don't want anyone to rush you anyway. So this could also represent that maybe there's someone that you're waiting to hear from, and there's stagnation surrounding that person. Can I get a clarification card for the Devil, please? Okay, so this actually, with the Nine of Pentacles, adds the fact that the Devil, what's happening here, it feels like more that lusty energy, the physical form, the body, and having that strong attraction to someone, or at least wanting that with another person. And that could be the major focus. But I think that, again, as I said, it's on your mind. In some cases, the attraction could be to money, someone that can take care of you financially, or make you feel like $1 million, even if you work for yourself, to make you feel just like royalty, whether you're a male or female. But I feel like the focus is on a very, very strong sexual connection. It's highly physical. You're reflecting back on whatever that encounter was. Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, it does bring communication. With those ideas, revelations, something needs to be expressed and put out in the open. And it's going to be done carefully with the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is like, shit, I thought this through so much. We're going to have a very deep conversation now. I'm going to make some arrangements. You could be trying to reach out to the person to sit them down and have a long conversation about what you want. Maybe even talk about an encounter that you've had, whether you feel guilty about it or not. That could be a discussion. As I mentioned before, if affairs are something you're dealing with, this could be you wanting to get to the bottom of what actually happened, whether you're the betrayer or the betrayee, the betrayed, then you could be wanting to get to the bottom of it, know every single detail, as the Knight of Pentacles would. Very meticulous energy. And it's not after some time with the Hangman, you need your time to figure it out. But once you do, you're like, we got to sit down and have a talk. Now, the Knight of Pentacles also adds to the physical aspect of the love side. So I do feel like, especially those of you that are single, you may have that prospect, but it does feel like the person is more than likely very open about being attracted to you or you them, and wanting to get together physically without really talking about the emotional connection or wanting it to be serious. Not yet. If that's an interest of yours, but for the moment, it seems like it's focused on the physical.